AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now,
The only man to give death a near Johnny experience. Johnny Harden.
You know how much I love you, and you know how much I love a Friday, and we got Friday, and we got all the love that I can give, and more, because guess what? Belmont's happening tomorrow. It's Juneteenth. Education and history. Again, I'm very proud of Russell Westbrook, what he's trying to do and get this show, Black Wall Street, out. Again, Greenwood, I had no idea about until last week, until the Unity Walk with Ryan Silverfield and all the athletes at Memphis. I didn't know about the Memphis State 8 until I listened to one of the ladies talk. So again, today is Juneteenth, and I just want to say I hope a lot of you people will at least stick around long enough to make sure, and you aren't busy enough, but if you are busy and you can't hear all of the show, don't forget we podcast. We are on Sports 56 WHBQ. You can get the app. You can go online. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Instagram. And Johnny_radio is back on Twitter, so you can also check me out there. And never forget my good friend at G_Coon71, my good friend Dale, a.k.a. Coon.
Hey, they gave you your followers back, huh?
They did, actually.
Good
It was
Lord.
very,
I don't know what they were
doing. They gave me most of them all. Like there's I've never had anybody blocked before, but I guess they went ahead and put some certain people I'm not allowed to associate with. But that's
back. Probably for the better.
Yes, no, it's definitely for the better. I don't want to associate with them anyway. But anyway, the most important thing that I do want to do though is I want to tell y'all what we got down. I want to get to the leadoff. I want to let you know we have a new show on Saturday. Rob Brown's going to join, right here at Sports 56. He's on the app. He's got great people. What was it? Dennis Dodd, Tommy Tuberville. Here, you were here. I only heard the second half. They had some pretty good guests. They had some really good talk, didn't they?
They sure did. It's roundtable discussion.
Roundtable discussion. People calling in. Lots of fun. So Rob Brown's going to join me at 1:50. And then do you know the guy at 2 o'clock that's going to join me, Gabe? Do you know him really well?
Oh, my gosh. What's his name?
I think his last name is I think his brother's Daryl.
His brother's name is Dale.
His brother's
Not
name
Daryl.
is Dale. But do you remember that show? Here's my brother Daryl. This is my brother Daryl. You don't even know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
6,
Alex
7, 1,
Coon,
2, 9. Yes.
my brother. 2 o'clock.
And it's going to be awesome. So I always like the fact that I love the fact that we have Alex at 2. When we had him at 1:30, he is such an easy person to talk to. Gabe gets involved. Alex is involved. We have such great conversation that 1:30 segment was just a little too small. Got him at 2 o'clock. Got a fat segment. So we're going to rock and fire. Never forget on Friday, Hardenwood is at 2:30. And then I'm going to close things out before I pass the baton over to Wolo and Stats. I say pass the baton because it is going to leak out to one of my stories that I'm going to steal from ESPN today. I want to remind you, Juneteenth is today. It took me a lot, and again, I didn't know so many things in this world, and I didn't know what Juneteenth is. And I want to ask you, Gabe. It made me feel better that Jay Harris actually went on ESPN today and said he was 30 years old before he even knew what Juneteenth. It just made me, because he's educated, I'm educated. I'm also wondering is how much money I spent on my education, but how much do they really teach me?
I think it sort of does shine a fact on the fact that we really don't learn all that much Black history in schools. I mean, it's just I didn't know about it until people started shining a light on what it was, and then like when you realized what it was, you learned it, but you didn't actually pay attention to the exact date that it was. You knew it what happened you were familiar with, and when it happened you were familiar with, but you didn't know the exact date.
And again, a lot of people know Lincoln. A lot of people know the Emancipation Proclamation. A lot of people understand also that in 1776, when we got our independence and declared our independence, it was still not until 1873 till the Emancipation Proclamation. But then this is a little thing that I just learned today. Thank you, by the way, Gerald McCoy. Did you by any chance see any of him talk at all today?
I have not seen him talk today.
My goodness, I felt like I didn't even realize it was Gerald McCoy. I'm sitting here listening to this guy thinking he's a teacher or something at history. Dude was rocking it, man. He was on fire. And then I looked at him, I'm like, wait a second. That's my boy Gerald McCoy.
Gerald McCoy, Oklahoma. He's with the Panthers now, correct?
I thought he went to Dallas. Is he not going
No, he's with the Dallas.
Yeah, he went
Dallas.
to the Cowboys. He left
with the
Bucks.
Panthers.
Didn't he leave the Bucks?
He was. Let me look.
Man, look it up. I know he's a Texas.
Because he's sort of been on a. He's definitely. Let's see.
He's awesome, but I would tell you what he did.
He's with the Cowboys.
He is with the Cowboys.
He was with the Panthers.
That's right. Hey, I was half right. You were half right. It takes both of our brains before we can figure it out. Amen. We got there. Now, I will say he did such a fabulous job, but he also made me aware of this young, and I'm saying young, vibrant woman, because at 86, Opal, and they have Opal's Walk, and it's going on today. It started this morning, and it's already happened. But Opal's Walk is to try to make Juneteenth a national holiday. Did you know it was a holiday in Texas already?
I did not.
Yeah, I did not either.
There's actually legislation now federally that they're trying to get it a federal holiday.
Yeah, it's a state holiday, not a federal holiday. So in Texas, they've been celebrating this for a while, but it's amazing how the rest of the country really didn't know much about Juneteenth. And if you didn't know, again, it took 2.5 years after the Civil War. Many of the slave owners sent a lot of their slaves to Texas because they didn't think that they could get the information and that they were going to they were going to be able to somehow hold on and preserve their way of life. And it literally took 2.5 years before the Union Army went down there and actually freed the slaves on June 19th. And again, it was 2.5 years actually after the Emancipation Proclamation. Again, history. You have to learn it because what do they say? If you don't learn it, you're damned to repeat it. So I do appreciate that everybody is kind of waking up. And I'm going to say one thing, George Floyd, Philando, Castillo, all these people that have had to, just all the stuff that's had to happen that's been a nightmare. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I don't want to come out and say it's a good thing. But I will say I don't think anybody has ever been so, I guess, accepting and susceptible, because after you see such an atrocity or see these atrocities, it is so much easier because how many of us, and I'm including myself, thought everything was just going in the right direction. And then you look around the people that you surround yourself with. Yes, that's kind of, you know what I'm saying? So you get you get this sense of security that's not necessarily the reality of the situation. I've had many talks. I disagreed at points. Now we're waking up. I think people are doing the studying. And I want to say, shockingly, thank you so much, Gerald McCoy, for educating me. Thank you so much, LeBron James, for what you're doing. And Russell Westbrook's putting out, I didn't even know there was a Black Wall Street. Did you?
I did.
You did? See,
that's one of the
I'm
things,
mad.
and when we look at history, has not been taught even remotely enough. It's sad. It's disgusting. What was
the
done?
gator bait thing that we'll talk about more stuff
Didn't
later
know
on.
about that.
Let me tell you something. I ain't going to lie to you. If you saw on Twitter, I just said I want to open it up for discussion. I want to hear what you have to say. And my goodness, it got flooded, and people told me the things that I saw, I was, of course, just destroyed.
Also,
but I also did hear people defending it, and I did understand that they're like, yo, I'm a graduate of Florida. We were just down there having fun. We never meant. So,
yeah.
So
but,
it
but
does,
when you look at the racial overtones of
exactly
what it was back in the day.
It's what I'm trying to say is we're not, this is what I wanted to make sure people understand. We're not saying what you did in the 90s and 2000s. And when y'all started to do whenever they started doing it, when that man brought it back, and I can't even remember his name right now. I can look on Twitter, but I just don't want to because we're about to do the leadoff. But I know he came out, he didn't want it to stop. He never meant anything wrong by it. But again, it's just like me, or it's just like that young man. I bet before he spoke, he actually didn't look at the histrionics of where it came from. Do I know people and dated with me? Can you prove this or blah, 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 or whatever? It's just kind of like, yo, if even closely, and I can't talk about it on this air because it's too much. But look into it, check it out, and if you want to discuss 67129, that's 67129. At the bottom of this hour at 1:30, we're going to break down the Belmont. I'm also going to ask all of y'all to do me a favor. Text in or call in at 901-360-8255. That's how you call in, 901-360-8255, or text 67129. Your best Father's Day memory or your best Father's Day sports memory. I'm going to steal one that I saw today, and I completely forgot about it until I watched television. It was in Barcelona. It was absolutely had to do with my man Redmond, Derek Redmond, and his dad James, and it's one of the best father-son moments in sports. But we're going to do all that stuff. We got Gabe's brother. We got Hardenwood. We got, by the way, just so you know, Juneteenth, Belmont tomorrow, and then Father's Day on Sunday. But you know how bad we need sports? This is how bad we need sports. ESPN is showing Rookie of the Year at 7 o'clock tonight. I wanted to
Great
cry.
movie, man. Come on. Henry Rowan Gardner?
Dude, on Friday night, I watch baseball.
He says, "Rolling, Bubba." What does he say?
He's
we have
so
to pull that up
horrible.
later.
And
We
then
have to pull that up
throws it
later.
underhand at the end. Oh,
Like his mom. It was cute. Man. It was cute.
See, you definitely saw that when you were a young man.
Oh, several times.
See, I was old when that sucker came out, so no, I didn't get
Hot Ice.
I had to
You remember the
watch
Hot
that with
Ice?
my children.
You remember the Hot Ice?
No, I don't.
Oh gosh, man, there's some quotable things out of that movie.
Man, see,
don't hate on Rookie of the Year.
I'm not going to hate on it, but I'm going to tell you one thing. I just never would have imagined that we'd be talking about Rookie of the Year being on ESPN tonight when we have baseball, but we're going to talk about the coronavirus.
The late, great John Candy, man.
Yes, he was there. We're going to talk about the coronavirus in sports, how much they're having an effect. We're going to ask actually later on if NFL has a chance, because I'm going to give you a little teaser. We'll talk about it later. A baseball team, 5 players, 3 support staff, including a coach, 8 players in one organization. In the first week of testing in Major League Baseball, guess what? Just one organization, 8 came back. That is not good. One thing that is good, MemphisFarmers.com. Check out my man Daniel Gatlin, and guess what he does? He gives you the leadoff.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday.
I know, it's
now
Friday.
Look, Jamal Adams, I think, how many times has he asked for a trade from the Jets? I mean, this is at least second, right?
I know it's the second.
At least second publicly. Mm-hmm. So he asked for a trade.
Of course.
Nothing really new. I feel like this has happened before. I mean, it's just sort of inevitable at this point.
I gotta admit one thing. He's the best probably at his
He's
position
one of the better
right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's sort of that tweener safety that can come down in the box and then help you in there.
He had 17 quarterback pressures, most on the Jets.
Yep. Now, I want to ask you this, though, because I think this is very interesting when you talk about value of safeties in the NFL. Do you think someone's actually willing to give up enough to get him from the Jets?
You're going to laugh when I say this. Yes. A person who comes in smart and realizes that, Jared Goff's, the Carson Wentz, all these guys are getting way too overpaid, but there is a guy who on your defense, and we have won defensive championships. Just look at the Baltimore Ravens. Look at the 86 Bears and that nasty Buddy Ryan defense with, believe it or not, he can't win a game as a coach, but Singletary was one mean linebacker in the middle. Dent coming and get you. William Refrigerator Perry. Defense can win, and a guy like Jamal Adams who can cover, who can get after the quarterback, who can drop down in the box, who can get back. He does everything. And I'm going to tell you, Derwin James, Jamal Adams, these certain players on the defensive side of the ball, I call them the later group of what Charles Woodson was for so many damn years in the NFL. Yes, he won a Heisman Trophy over Peyton Manning, and people look at that. Did you know that they retired at the same damn time, Peyton Manning and Charles Woodson, a defensive player? And a quarterback, that's unheard of for a defensive player to play that long. And he was that good. And if you can find a guy with character, and I know you're going to say character, he's asking for a trade every year. Not disrespecting his team, not doing all that kind of thing. He's saying, damn it, I want to win. And if y'all are going to want to win, if you're really committed to win, we'll pay your best damn player. And for me, honestly, I'm in Jamal Adams' corner on this one. I agree that he's a game changer, and I look around the league. We got quarterbacks out the wazoo. But the biggest the biggest premium in the National Football League is actually not putting up points because everybody puts up points. It's stopping teams from putting up points.
It's defensive playmakers.
Defense, baby.
Just truthfully. And that's what he is. You can call him a safety all you want, but he just makes plays.
No, he's a playmaker. Troy Polamalu, are we going to call him a safety or a playmaker? A defensive back,
so
you know what?
The one thing I will say is I wonder if teams are going to be willing with.
I think they will.
With the amount of money or the amount of years he has left on his rookie deal, if they're going to want to take him for the price that the Jets are going to want to take.
See, I think if they're smart, they'll say, "Look, we're going to get him when he's young. We're going to get him at the very top of his career. You're
going to have to pay him. You have to immediately think about that.
But
immediately structure a contract.
He's going to come in. He's going to be happy. He's going to be paid. This is, by the way, this is a young man who, no matter what, I don't care if this. You know how certain players you're worried that if they get paid, they're not going to work. This dude works. This dude cares more about winning than he cares about actual money. And I think the fact that the Jets, for him, don't look like they can get to a Super Bowl in his career, that all he wants, he says, is to play in the big one.
I get that. Moving on. The MLB, it's starting to become a freaking chore to talk about the MLB. It's a chore. It's a job. It's not fun to talk about them at all at this point. But the owner's proposal was 60 games. The MLB Players Association said, no, we want 70. Now, the owners are adamantly against that. They say that that's not a possibility. Manfred himself, without the owners' even permission, said, no, that's not going to work. But this negotiation has gone on too far. It's getting ridiculous. And I want to know, are the players asking for too much, or are the owners not willing to bargain with them even remotely?
Do you know how hard I've been on the owners? I've been unequivocally beating these men down, and I think rightfully so, because you had a Players Association who has had signed 3 deals in the in MLB owners, and Rob Manfred all 3 times bought. But guess what now? Now I'm like, dude, y'all had a 60 game. Now you're going to complain and you're going to throw this season down the drain over 10 bleeping games? 10 bleeping games? Are you bleeping kidding me is what I want to say? I mean, I am so angry. I want to go Tony Clark, Rob Manfred. I want to slap everybody.
So it's everybody's fault.
In there. Right now, it's kind of like this. Buster Only has said it correct. It has been the owner's fault. They have needed somebody in there. This is what I've said, by the way. That once actually cared about the damn fans. Did you hear Norsworthy the other day talk about this? And you know I'm not a big Bob Costas fan. But do you know that Bob Costas loves the game? I can guarantee you if he was in a meeting, you know what he would tell the Players Association and Tony Clark? And he would look at all these damn owners and say, guess what? Right now, this is about what's good for the game. Y'all have profited so damn much, and you don't realize we're in a global pandemic, and y'all are making yourselves look so unappealing that I'm telling you, roaches don't even want to watch you now. Sorry. It's gotten me so upset, and this is the first time that I have to say, Tony Clark, you screwed this one up. Players, you screwed this one up. The expanded playoff to 16 teams, if that's the one thing that y'all are freaking out, at least they said they're going to split the damn revenue 50-50. But 10 regular season games.
It begs the question, though, is 10 games really what we're arguing over? Is that really what we're arguing over? I don't think it is. Nope. I really don't. I think the owners are not willing to bargain, and I don't think the players are willing to bargain. But it's also interesting the fact that the owners, correct me if I'm wrong, 72-game schedule. Didn't they put that out? Didn't they propose that earlier?
They did propose that earlier. No, yes, they did.
I get confused. I just don't understand at this point what is going on, and it's becoming a chore to try to keep up with it.
How hard is it? How much have both of us fought this? And again, I've talked with players, and they're fighting amongst each other. I have talked with people who are in the know, and they tell me they've never seen it this bad. You listen to Rob Manfred and Tony Clark. Rob Manfred was like 100%. Oh, it's not 100%. Then he talked to Tony Clark. Things are in a good direction. And not even 14 hours, they released a thing like, we really do suck. You know what I mean? I mean, what else did you, what else? Here, put out a nice thing, Buster Only. Go on TV and just kill us. And then one other thing I was going to say is they put out this thing that I thought was funny. We'll put in a $10 million social justice initiative. The universal DH, I think they were sneaking that in for a long time. Players are going to complain about that when it's an extra job, confusing as hell. Certain clubs granted permission to sell advertising patches on the uniforms for 2020 and 2021 to help the players recoup some losses. So again, as much as I've been so up the players, you know what? This time the deal's actually right there on the table. You just this time screwed it, because I now believe this. Nobody wants to play. Period. I think everybody's actually scared of the coronavirus. And we'll talk about that in a minute. By the way,
I wish it would be talked about. I wish they would just say that.
By the way, do you want to know something else? Why I think a lot of people, this thing went 10 days to fight. Y'all heard about Philadelphia Phillies, right? First week of testing, they've already tested 5 players, 3 support staff, and these people have been around a bunch of other players, and now they don't know how many. They call this a Phillies outbreak, because guess what? The 8 people who tested positive for a few days were all up in the locker room, and they were all there.
Now, moving on to some college football news. And I thought this was an interesting quote via Twitter from Texas linebacker Juwan Mitchell. And he said basically he's not comfortable repping the University of Texas, the Longhorns. He said, "We put our blood, sweat, and tears in every day so the city of Austin can enjoy their Saturdays. For once, we decide to voice our opinions about things that can help better the community. It seems they only have our front." When he says they, he's talking about the fans, "but not our backs. People who want to create change don't care about how much money can be lost, don't care about who hates them, or any bad outcomes that may happen. The only thing on your mind should be equality." Does he have a point, Juwan Mitchell? And does this apply to a lot of college football when you speak about donor bases?
Unequivocally. Sadly, it does. And he just spoke out the truth in his mind. Do you know what I mean? Do you agree with me that he has a point? Because
I agree completely, because I've said this on several different occasions. There's been the reason that the Black Lives Matter movement at the collegiate level, especially with collegiate football, has been sort of hushed down.
Because they had a platform, and
but the reason it's been hushed
wouldn't let them tweet
is because the coaches know where their donor base comes from, and they don't want to lose money over the Black Lives Matter movement. And I agree wholeheartedly with Juwan Mitchell. There's parts of the country that are not as far along with this movement as others, and it shows.
And this is also the problem that I haven't even got to really tell you. And if you listen to what was also said, and talking about realistically having our backs, when have they supported the athlete? Like, I mean, we drugged them. We put them through, like, CTE was proven. We put them through hell. Their bodies are beat. We've taken scholarships. We've punished kids. We have shown the NCAA's fault. But when have they ever made any restitution to the people that they wronged? Never. Not a once. And again, this pandemic only shines a brighter light that people don't really have your back, because they're ready to make you a guinea pig. Do you know what I mean by that? Hey, as long as we can have our damn Saturday, we can party, we can celebrate, we can root, then we're good to go. But I'll tell you one thing, when you got 11 players down in Texas, 13 players down in Texas test positive, when you got 8 Phillies now testing positive, when you got 8 Kansas State players testing positive, amen, nobody at Memphis has tested positive yet. But again, we also had Arizona. They did not report the number. They have positive cases. And then the University of Florida has also said they have athletes. They didn't say what
Also,
sport.
Oklahoma.
And I didn't even know that. Oklahoma's got something too?
Lincoln Riley has said that they have guys that have been exposed and guys that are positive right this second, but they're not coming back until July 1st.
And this is what I'm trying to say is, if baseball really doesn't work and we got a COVID-19 outbreak with the Phillies and this thing gets worse, how the hell are we going to play football? Well, we're going to have to talk about that and a whole lot more on the other side. But whatever you do, you never forget Chad Gatlin, MemphisFarmers.com. That is my man, and I promise you, auto, home, life, business, whatever you can think of, he's got your back. And remember, we are farmers. Dun, 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 dun. But don't you want your farmer's agent to actually be from the Mid-South and know what it is that you actually really need? He's a straight shooter. He's honest. He's my good friend. Go to MemphisFarmers.com. Get the genius of a Mid-South man like my friend Chad and the power of farmers. Go to Mid-South. Just MemphisFarmers.com or call Chad at 901-235-1176. That's 901-235-1176. Tell him I said what's up, and whatever you do, don't touch that dial. Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Check out Dave Woloshin and Brett Norsworthy with Sports Time on Sports 56. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on Sports 56, 96.1 FM and 87.7 FM.
Hi, I'm Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. Can anyone explain to me why anyone would care how I measure your roof? We have all heard about measuring your roof from outer space. Well, to be honest, there are aerial pictures that are taken every 4 years that can be used to measure a building, but it's not from outer space. Besides, no one, and I mean no one, can tell you what's wrong with your roof or even if you need one by using pictures that might be 4 years old. If you would rather do business with a family-owned and operated business with a lifelong tie to Memphis that refuses to mislead or use gimmicks, please give me a call. Best products, best warranties, and the best customer service we know how to provide. Fiveash Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Casper's the sleep company with outrageously comfortable products at not-so-outrageous prices. And now you can help Dad upgrade to the comfort of Casper with the Father's Day sale. Save 10% on any mattress order or get $25 off. All you have to do is spend $100 or more on gifts for Dad. This Casper Father's Day sale is going on through June 23rd. The offer excludes bundles, the Element mattress and sale items. Limit one offer per customer and order. See Casper.com/terms.
At Jason's Deli, you can stuff yourself full of great deli food that's healthy, fresh, and best of all, it's not expensive. Jason's Deli is all about choice. Whether you're looking for a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids' meals, or if you'd like to invent your sandwich via the build-your-own selections, Jason's Deli has you covered. And they only use fresh, wholesome ingredients. Choose from the club and specialty sandwiches, paninis, wraps, soups, salads, pastas, and much more. I love the cleanliness in the restaurant, the hospitality, and of course the cost. They have a huge salad bar and great soups, including Southwest chicken chili, fire roasted tortilla, organic vegetable, tomato basil, and many, many more. And if you're planning an event, their catering department is fantastic and can handle any size party. Go check out Jason's Deli's 4 locations. On Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, that's my favorite, on Germantown Parkway in Cordova, at Poplar and Highland, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch.
Hi, this is Jay Farner, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. We can help guide you to those right decisions now, when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows, so when you call 8338-ROCKET or visit us at rocketmortgage.com to start your refinance, you'll be well on your way to saving money every month. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.375%, APR 3.59%. Right now could be a great time for you to take some positive financial steps forward with a cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage, which could give you the boost that you're looking for. In addition, we may be able to help you refinance with little or no out-of-pocket costs. At Rocket Mortgage, we're committed to every client, every time, no exceptions, no excuses, giving you the best mortgage experience. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Rates subject to change. Pay 1.875% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Though we're apart these days, we're sharing more. And Geico would just like to say thanks. Thanks for sharing your dance moves. Thanks for sharing your DIY haircut fails. Now it's Geico's turn to share too, with a Geico Give Back. A 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies for current and new customers. And because Geico's committed for the long haul, the 15% credit lasts your full policy term. Visit geico.com/giveback for info and eligibility.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Well, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next
whiskey bar.
Oh, don't ask why.
Who doesn't want to go to the whiskey bar on a Friday? I know Gabe's been here since, 6 a.m. or something. He was filling in for CJ. It was, I heard Gabe and Peter today.
Call it the good old hero shift.
And I got to just tell you this. You are so right. Y'all were right. You know, Rack City was doing his thing. Peter's doing his thing. And then y'all ended off the show with something that was so apropos. You two dudes give somebody a headbutt, it will kill them. It will crush their head. Two biggest heads in radio.
I like how I like how we have a 3-hour show, and that's the one thing you remember.
Dude,
from
I cried when y'all did that. I laughed so
Big
hard.
head gang, man.
Dude, it was hilarious, bro. And I needed that too because I'd been fighting with lawyers and all that stuff this morning. And remind me to get gas. The last thing before I leave. I'm in another car. You know how they don't really remind you like your normal car does. Now, we in this segment are going to talk about something that I find very interesting, and that's the fact that the first leg of the Triple Crown is happening tomorrow in Elmont, New York. It's the Belmont Stakes. That is correct. Tomorrow, I've got my winners. I got my favorites. I've got the people that I think are going to win. We're going to talk about that. But I want y'all at 67129, while I break down the Belmont, I want you to do me a huge favor and just text in some of your greatest sports memories. Father's Day, it could be you and your father, or a child memory, or Michael Jordan winning the championship after his father died and laying there on the ground crying is a huge one. There's a couple other ones that I've really, really thought about. I just want to, throw those out there. We have some good ones. We have some weird ones. But I think that would kind of be fun because it is Father's Day weekend. And when you're a sports lover, and as much, and mothers, don't get me wrong, they do so many things. My mom took me to practice. I love you so much, Mom. I'm just saying it's Father's Day weekend. Love you, Dad. And I want anybody out there who just has a great Father's Day story or something that they watched on TV or it witnessed in real life or experienced in their own family. Hit me up at 67129. Put it on the text line. We'll talk about it. Or if you want, call 901-360-8255, and we'll rap about it. But now, you know what it's time for me to do, don't you, Gabe? Let's break down the Belmont Stakes. Now, I bet you had no idea that I was a horseman.
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
I'm not.
You did say it. You
I'm
did
not
just
like
say,
Catherine the Great.
I have to say something real quick because before that, you said, I'm going to tell you what people I think are going to win. They're not people.
No.
They're
I was
horses.
talking about the trainers. I have the trainers' names.
Jockeys? What about the jockeys?
I don't care about the jockeys. I'm not a big jockey guy because I don't know much about jockeys. They all look like they were in when I was growing up. What was that show? Where they had the chocolate and chocolate factories? Oompa loompa doobity doo. By the way, can I just tell you something? Gene Wilder was so much better than Johnny Depp. And I don't think that's a very I
think that's fair.
I think that's very.
Well, whoever
Wilder
does it. But here's the
fine.
thing. Here's the thing. We do have a thing in this society where we all weigh a lot
Johnny
of the time.
Depp
Not all the
scared the
time. Not
hell
all
out
the
of
time. Not all the time. But a lot of the time, we give preferential treatment to the first to do it.
That's a very good point. And you know what? You're 100% right. But I will say, in a chocolate factory type setting, you would think it would be nice. He came to the door and scared the bleep out of me, and I was an old man. Like, when I saw Gene Wilder, I was like, let's do this thing. I'm ready to go to the chocolate factory.
So who am I putting my money on this weekend?
And you ready to do this? So it is happening. It is the first leg. By the way, for all you, I've already been texted, well, when's the Kentucky Derby? It's September 5th. That is a Saturday, but the Belmont Stakes is tomorrow. That is correct. You know what today's date is, right? Today's the 19th. June 20th, tomorrow, we have the Belmont Stakes from New York. And a lot of people are talking about 'tis the law. 'Tis the law. By the way, the reason that, it's a 6-5 favorite. You ain't winning a lot of money on that, yo. You know what I mean? And again, I've been looking at all these people. And this is the one thing I want to ask you. There's two horses that I'm very confused about. Linda Rice, who's the trainer for Max Player, who's at 15-1. She's let her horse rest for 4 months. You got 'Tis the Law, who's the only one to win on basically a Schedule 1 type track and a Schedule 1 type race. He's very much a prohibited favorite because of his speed and everything. But Rob Manfred also guaranteed he'd win, but he also guaranteed baseball, so I'm so off him. Are you kidding me? Please, but this is the other thing. 3 months off. 4 months, 3 months. That's a lot. I got people in there who've been off 10 days. I mean, I want you to think this. Sol Voltaire just raced 14 days ago. You got Max Player. Max Player's been 4 months that it has not raced. 4 months. That to me, that is insanity. And then you have other ones, like I said, Tap It to Win. They raced 16 days ago. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you've got to, I feel like, get in your rhythm. And if I'm an athlete, that's what the NBA players are talking about. And I know horses are different. Don't get me wrong. I know you don't want to bring in a tired, worn-out horse. But I just don't know if the first race in 4 months, or the first race in just over 90 days. It'll be 91 days since it last ran its race between these two races. And the other ones, 10, 16, 14, 21, 14, 16. I'm like, wait. Why is everybody still racing, getting prepped? And then these two people, and one again is a way prohibited favor, and that is Tiz the Law, 6-5. But Rob Manfred's basically cursed it. If most of y'all probably don't know this because y'all are paying attention to different things that Rob Manfred came out. But once I saw Rob Manfred guarantee that Tiz the Law was going to win.
We need to have a new saying.
He's done.
We need to have a new saying. That's a Rob Manfred guarantee. When something's not going to happen,
yes.
We have to say, all right, yeah, for me, it's like, all right, I'll run a 4.340. That's a Rob Manfred guarantee.
Yeah, I like that.
That should be a new thing.
But I'm going to tell you my personal, the reason I'm going to give you the people that I like, the people that I'm probably going to bet on, is because of one, I think a 4-month layoff, a 3-month layoff is too damn long. I'm going to take the horses that are running, and I'm also not going to take a prohibitive favorite that's 6-5, but then I'm also not going to take the one that's 50-1 that doesn't have a chance in hell. I'm going to use my brain, and I found some good ones. At 6-1, I've mentioned Tap It to Win. They just raced 16 days ago. They won the race. He's got a 2-game win streak going on. It's got, easy gait when it runs, and I keep thinking about this bad boy, and I'm like, it's got a Hall of Fame rider. I don't usually talk about the jockeys, but John Velasquez they say possibly is right there. I like the trainer, and this guy is basically been running hard, running the same length of track. So at 6-1, I'm going to tell you, I think he finishes second. I don't think they win the race. I got Tap It to Win finishing second. Tap It to Win is 6-1. Now, also I'm going to tell you who I have finishing third, and it makes sense. I think the prohibited favored, Tiz the Law. I think Tiz the Law, and you're going to say, wait, John, didn't you say it's 3 months off? Yes, I did. But it's a super favorite for one huge reason. It wouldn't be this high of a favorite if it wasn't the only horse in this entire field who's ever won a, what do they call it? A grade 1 race where every horse in that field is considered elite. It won. And guess what? It won the Florida Derby at the exact same distance. The dude is a champion, but he took 3 months off. You know what that means for me? 3 months off. Rob Manfred guaranteed he was going to win. That means it guarantees he's going to get third. So I got him placing, not winning, but getting third. So I got him. I got second, third for you right now, right? So who do I have as the winner, you think? Or do you even have a clue?
I have not even the slightest clue.
I do not like Pneumatic. I just think he stepped up way too far in class. Also, I just also think the fact that this dude doesn't know how to really put the pedal on the metal. It's always running kind of at the same gait. Like it'll start around in like the 5th spot, and it'll finish in the 5th spot. It's that kind of horse that just doesn't get out there and push it, and it's only 8-1. But do you know who I do like? And stay away from Dr. Post at 5-1. That's a setup I've ever seen. This I don't understand the odds. Jungle Runner, stay way far away. And then 4 left, 30-1 and 50-1. These people are just a bunch of jokes. But you know who's going to win this bad boy? And y'all are going to laugh at me when I say this. Do you know what the first school I went to when I moved out to Germantown was? Or not me, but I think it was my brother. Farmington.
Farmington Boulevard, huh?
Yeah, right over there at Farmington. We lived right over there. So we got our little first house when we moved over in that area. And Farmington Road is 15-1. I like that. Then you look at him, guess what? Last 3 races, it's run at 1.5 miles. It definitely has enough speed to actually win here. I like its position. It hasn't been sitting out. It's been running consistently, but it's only been running like once every 21 to 28 days, which I like that trajectory. So I'm kind of like, I think Todd Pelcher, the trainer, is going to make a name for himself. And I'm going to tell you right now, Farmington Road wins. So if you want to get 15-1, Farmington Road is the winner I got. Ow! How you like me now? And I said tap it to win. Second. And then, of course, our very prohibited favorite, Tiz the Law at 6-5. Everybody's betting it to win. Finishes third because 3-month layoff is just way too damn long. And again, whatever you do, max player at 15-1, don't bet it. 4 months off is insanity. You don't run a horse after it's been sitting around.
And these aren't Rob Manfred guarantees, are they?
No, they aren't Rob Manfred guarantees. But this is where I like, and I picked my 3 horses, and we're going to see what happens on Saturday. And I'll tell you one thing, I'm going to go over there and put a little something down on it. Be a heck of a win if I get a little trifecta action. But, hey, that's the winners. I hope you enjoy them. But I want to ask y'all, we talked a little bit. Coming up next is my good friend. He's on Saturdays every single day, 8 to 10. That's my buddy Rob Brown. He's got everybody from Dennis Dodd. He's had Tuberville, Pete Cordelli, anybody that you know that loves SEC football. He's an Auburn grad. He loves Southeastern Conference. He loves college football. He knows everything there is. Tune in and check him out on Saturdays. He's going to join us next. One thing I wanted to say was, one person sent to me, it says, I don't even want to get there. Never mind. But I was going to say, a couple people, and we'll talk about this more because it's Father's Day, and we'll talk about it in maybe a little Hardenwood. But think about King Griffey Jr. and his dad homering on the same day. I stole this from television today. Derek Redmond, when they were at the Barcelona games, and he was the prohibited favorite in the 400, and he tears his hamstring. And my man is not going to come off. Like the people kind of try to come and pull him off the track, and he's like, no. I mean, tears are running down this man's eyes. And then you see a man like kind of like fighting through security, fighting through the stands to get on the court, and then security realizes, hey, it's his dad. They let him run out on the court. He helps walk his son the rest of the way to finish the lap. And again, I know it wasn't on Father's Day, but again, we're celebrating fathers, not Father's Day always. You know, Michael Jordan, what happened on Father's Day was amazing. But he was missing his dad. And I just want to say, any thought you can think about, like some, father, son. I thought Brett Norsworthy gave me a great one. Think about Todd Harmon, who in 1940, I believe, won a Heisman at Michigan. And then you got Mark Harmon, who played at UCLA, and he's the NCIS dude. You know what I'm talking about? The one that's really tough. Have you ever watched NCIS?
Well, don't they have like different cities?
Dude,
that they do NCIS in?
No, but he's the original, and he's got a great name, and everybody knows him by this. What is it, man? Gibbs. You never heard of Gibbs on NCIS? I don't even watch this show, and I know who Gibbs is. There's a dude named Gibbs and some girl named Abby.
Oh, I know this guy. I know Mark Harmon.
Yeah, Mark Harmon. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You got to know Gibbs, yo.
I never watched NCIS like that.
Oh, I don't either, but I guess.
So that's probably why I don't know Gibbs.
Well, I don't watch any of that stuff either, but it's kind of like, like somebody tells you, and I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. You mean the UCLA quarterback? No, he's a TV star now. Oh, really? Yeah, he's a star in NCIS. So, I'm just like, oh, okay. I learned something today. Well, we're going to continue to learn. Coming up next is my good friend, Rob Brown. We're going to talk about his show, what's going on in baseball, what's going on in football, all that good stuff. And again, 67129 is the text line. Send in your good stories. Let's keep this thing going. We're going to have a lot of fun. Hardenwood and Gabe's brother. It's all coming, so don't touch that dial. This is Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on AM 560, 96.1 FM, or 87.7 FM.
Hey everybody, are we ready for some hot fun this summertime? Cause I'm out here in Olive Branch looking at all these new All-Star Chevy trucks. You've got more new Silverados out here than you'll find anywhere, and for a lot less. Some still have 0 interest for 84 months with GM financing or thousands in cash back for summer. If it's a new Chevy you want, Olive Branch is where you want to be. Come drive one of the new Blazers or Suburbans, or just drive both. You can fall in love with more than one. Finance with GM and you could be payment free all all summer. And everybody at All-Star Chevy is excited about their pre-owned Chevy collection. It's huge. I'm looking at Tahoes, Malibus, Impalas, Suburbans. They have everything the new ones have, warranties and all, just thousands less. Remember, it's not the Pike, not South Haven, not Mount Moriah or Collierville. It's gotta be Olive Branch, people. And everyone at All-Star Chevy has one job: to make sure you get the best deal, have more fun, and in record time. So find new roads to Kraft Goodman Road in Olive Branch or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Blood and plasma donations are more important than ever. People all around the world still depend on the medicine your plasma helps make. That's why Interstate Blood Bank and Plasma Biological Services are open and will remain open for our donors. The United States government has declared blood and plasma donation as a critical infrastructure industry. That means healthy donors are allowed to travel to and from donation centers regardless of any stay-at-home mandates in your area. We need you to keep donating so that we can continue to manufacture these life-saving medicines. We understand that you may be concerned about COVID-19. The health and safety of our donors and our employees remain a top priority. To limit the spread of the virus, we're taking additional measures to ensure our centers are safe and clean. Donating now is more important than ever, but please do not come to the center to donate if you are not feeling well or have a sore throat, fever, cough, or shortness of breath. We are doing our part so that you can do yours. Come donate today at one of our IBBI or PBS locations across the Memphis area.
Hey folks, I'm Jarrett Carter. My family recently purchased East Memphis Ace Hardware at Quince and White Station, and we're excited to offer the best selection of Big Green Egg and Traeger grills. And then don't forget about our Benjamin Moore Paint Studio and the Garden Center for flowers. Save 60% with our new Duracell key fob replacement program. We have a master locksmith service as well as glass cutting and screen repair. East Memphis Ace Hardware, located at Quince and White Station behind Three Little Pigs.
Hi, it's The Herd. And all week, we've been getting Lowe's dedications from listeners telling us their favorite DIY dad stories. Here's one of my favorites.
I was 11 years old. My dad assembled a trampoline overnight in the pouring rain with my grandpa, so I'd be surprised waking up on my birthday. So can't believe they did it. It's one of my favorite memories, getting to play with it with my dad.
Listen for more Lowe's dedications or check out the hashtag #DadBuiltThis. DIY dads turn houses into homes. And Lowe's believes home is what unites us.
Family Leisure's here to make staying at home more enjoyable for you and your family this summer. Complete pool packages starting at $15.99. 24-foot pools only $19.99. 4-person spas starting at $19.99. Swim spas starting at under $10,000. We are offering contactless purchasing, deliveries, and curbside pickup. Give us a call to schedule an appointment or to place an order. Stay safe with Family Leisure.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Thick and thin, I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher man.
Yo, 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 welcome into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. Y'all know who I am. I am your good buddy, Johnny Radio. You can go back to following me on Twitter at Johnny_Radio, and guess what else you can do? You can also, you can follow my buddy Dale or Gabe, depends on whatever you want to call him. I call him Gabe Coon out of respect because he could put me in a headlock and beat the tar out of me. But he's also.
I feel like you call me Gabe Coon because that's my name.
Well, that
something like that. You know,
yeah,
that seems more.
It was fun, but I'm just like letting people know that
my name's Dale, and that's a Rob Manfred guarantee.
Oh, that means it's definitely
I'm gonna make this catch on. Somehow,
yeah, it's gonna catch on. When anybody
we're gonna bring it up with Alex.
Line,
we're gonna bring it up with Alex.
When anybody lies, what are you, Rob Manfred?
No, it's just like that's a Rob Manfred guarantee.
When anybody's full of it. Or if you just don't believe it, I like it.
The type of thing where you say, "Oh, it's 100% going to happen," and then 4 days later say, "Oh no, I'm not confident it's going to happen." Rob Manfred guarantee.
That is the Manfred guarantee. And if you don't know what we're actually talking about, ML Baseball, Commissioner Tony Clark and MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred met with MLB Player Association Tony Clark yesterday. it was, what'd you call it? Like blowing bubbles up each other. Like, hey, blah, 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 blah. We're going to play. We love each other. They were talking about putting a $10 million social justice initiative. They talked about how they were going to do the 50-50 split with maybe the postseason. You go in here and look at all these different things. They were going to have spring training start on June 26th. It's crazy to think about how they had everything planned out. And then they say, and the only reason I've been all over the MLB owners for being so damn greedy, and it's making me mad because it's what's good for the game. And both sides are about to cut off their nose to spite their face. And they could have had a 60-game season that started on July 19th. Everything was going to be all set up. It was going to run through September 30th. They were going to play playoff baseball in October. It was all worked out. Now, I do have to admit, yes, the Players Association 3 times have made their signature. But this time they balked. They just said last week, what? We don't even care what just tell us where to be and when, right? But now all of a sudden, do you think this has anything to do with the coronavirus? We'll talk about that with our good buddy Alex Kuhn. But now I got to talk with Rob Brown. He is an Auburn grad. He is on 8 to 10 o'clock right here on Sports 56, 87.7 FM and 96.1. Rob, how is life?
Hey, glad to be on here with you, man. Golly, Father's Day coming up, man.
Isn't that awesome?
I've been going to games with my dad since I can remember. He's 91 now, and so he remembers games from back in, for the 40s, going to games at Crump Stadium and sneaking in. They would have double headers like Ole Miss and Memphis maybe playing, and then Mississippi State and Tennessee for all the doctors down at medical school at Tennessee. But I've been going to games with my dad since I can remember, and that's the greatest thing about going up and take your kids to the games. But I was taught by my dad always to always go after the game as a kid outside the locker room. And whether it was a Memphis game we went to or an Auburn game, whether they won or lost, especially after a loss, to let them know that you have their back and that you support them no matter what. Because, if you've ever played on a team, and my dad taught me something else, you never, ever, I never, ever leave a game until it's over. I get so mad when I see people leaving a game. They go, well, I want to beat traffic. Then why did you come? Okay, don't bother. I'm sorry. Okay, you know what? I guarantee you, Gabe, and Johnny, you know this. I tell people when they leave a game early because their team's getting beat, I go, when you were a kid, did your parents ever leave a game early when you were getting your brains beat in on a bad day or something like that? You always have their back, and that's the thing that my dad taught me, is that your honor is dearer than your life, and loyalty is absolute, and loyalty is a two-way street. But those players, when you play on a team, you can identify with it. And by the way, that was awesome having Gabe produce the show last week.
Yeah, I bet that was. He did good. By the way, you had everybody and their grandmother. You had Dodd. You had who else did you have? You had my man Tommy Tuberville. So since you're talking about who else? Oh yeah, you had from the Chattanooga Times Free Press. I love him.
Damn good guest list.
Yeah, you had a great guest list. I'm just kind of curious. I know I don't want to be prying too much, but you want to tease the people on what you're going to have tomorrow?
Yeah, we're going to open it up again, and I think Carl will be back. But hell, I'd love to have Gabe calling anytime talking about Memphis. But tomorrow morning we're going to have we're going to do a round table. We're going to have Rodney Orr from Tider Insider. Possibly going to have Sims Garrison from the Birmingham Quarterback Club. They got 600 members in the quarterback club down there. Half the people that apply don't get in. So it's a very competitive deal, and they use that competition in a good way for fundraising for lots of charities like Alabama Children's Hospital and the Sheriff's Boys and Girls Ranches in Alabama. We're also going to bring in Philip Marshall, a 51-year veteran of writing, covering college football in the South. We're going to bring him on there. And we got one more guest that we're waiting to confirm.
We just keep that kind of little sneak attack, man. 8 o'clock.
If we can get it. Hey, if not, Gabe's calling in. Or you're calling in.
Hey, it doesn't matter. You have more energy. You're just like me. From 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, if you want to rock and fire live radio right here at Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM. Check him out. He's also going to be on the website. Rob, I love you so much. I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful Father's Day weekend, and I will be listening tomorrow.
Ditto as well, and thanks everybody at WHCQ, man. This is awesome being on this platform. See y'all tomorrow. Have a great rest of the day.
Hey, be blessed, my man. That is Rob Brown. We're late. We'll be back in 2 shakes. I want to remind you one quick, simple thing. His name is Chad. He is my man. He is all of y'all's men. He has helped me through basically, let's just be honest. He's been helping me through a time of hell, I can basically say. During the COVID-19, you wouldn't want to be living in a hotel right now while they're repairing all your places. It's not been easy, but you know what? Hopefully I'll get financial restitution. Hopefully my condo's going to be absolutely gorgeous. But the one thing that I can always say is I don't have to deal with anybody except for calling my good friend Chad Gatlin. That's at memphisfarmers.com. That's memphisfarmers.com. And if you want to just be like me, just give him a call. Yes, that's right. You can call him up if you're not like a computer perfect. All you have to do is make it ring, 901-235-1176, and I will remind you, auto, home, life, business, but check on life insurance. Keep the family. Make sure you're comfortable. Check it out. Life insurance through your work, it's crucial. But God forbid something happen, and these times are different. Make sure you check out with my friend over at memphisfarmers.com. That's my good friend, Chad Gatlin, or give him a call, 901-235-1176. When we come back, we got Gabe's brother, Alex Kuhn, on the other side. This is Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
And if the cloud bursts, thunder in your ear, you shout and no one seems to hear.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Ready to take on that painting project? Ask Sherwin-Williams and get 30% off paints and stains with sale prices starting at $26.94 June 19th through 30th. With 30% off our exceptional paints and stains, you can give some color love to your bathroom, living room, or every room in your home. Shop in store or order online for curbside pickup. Retail sales only, some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Great news, sports fans! The Butcher Shop Steakhouse is now open for dine-in service. Make a reservation and enjoy a mouth-watering steak dinner. Or, if you prefer, take it curbside. In addition to their fantastic steaks, the Butcher Shop Steakhouse has a variety of entrees, including Canadian lobster tail, crab-stuffed shrimp, pan-seared red snapper, and fresh ground steak burger with portobello mushroom sauce. Planning to cook out? The Butcher Shop Steakhouse offers a great selection of hand-cut fresh steaks, lamb chops, Atlantic salmon, and more. Father's Day is coming soon, so make your reservation for dine-in or pre-order for curbside pickup. The Butcher Shop Steakhouse, dine-in, curbside, and delivery. Call us at 757-4244 and visit our website, thebutchershop.com, for menus and more. The Butcher Shop Steakhouse, Walnut Grove and Germantown Parkway.
I want to invite you to come by the Spirit Shop. You know, that little log cabin on Poplar, your liquor and wine oasis. The Spirit Shop has been providing sports fans their beverage needs since way back in 1969. So come in now and get ready for the big game. Whether your favorite team wins or loses, the Spirit Shop will help you celebrate or ease that pain away. The Spirit Shop is open every day, and they're located perfectly at 4848 Poplar. That's the corner of Poplar and St. Nick.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. On AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here. Ladies and gentlemen. And now?
Now, the only man to give death a near Johnny experience. Johnny Harden.
Yo, yo, yo! Welcome back into a little bit of Johnny Radio and Gabe Kuhn, because it's Sports 56 Happy Hour. We got another hour to wrap with you. Alex Kuhn's going to join me and Gabe, and we got a whole lot to get to. I've had a lot of people. I told you it's Father's Day weekend. We also have the Belmont. I've given you the winners. I already told you. I hope you've been listening. I already said the favorite, Tiz the Law, will not win. Don't even bet on Max Player, because guess what's going to happen if you bet on Max Player? You're going to lose everything. I got first, Farmington Road, 15-1. I have second, Tap It to Win. Isn't that how it goes? Don't you want to tap it to win? Number 2, and I have the favorite, Tiz the Law, coming in third, because we're talking about the Belmont on Saturday. But with Alex Kuhn, we're going to talk about many, many, many different things. But before I get to that, I got to remind you, we're going to get into some Father's Day stuff. And I want to remind you, think about Brian Griese, 1997, what he did with Michigan, the championship. Think about his father taking the Dolphins to Super Bowl 6, 7, and 8, winning 7 and 8. His father, Bob Griese. So Bob and Brian Griese, they're a nice, fun father-son duo to think about. Think about, like I said, Ken Griffey Jr., his dad hitting a home run on the same day. They actually played together in pro baseball. That's just absolutely magical. We know about Mark Harmon and Todd Harmon, both playing, and one at Michigan, one at UCLA. Both getting to different levels of fame. One through actually the football field. The other one through becoming a NCIS. He is Gibbs. So any great stories, and again, my favorite is, another texter texted and said, Brett Favre, don't forget, 5 touchdowns right after he found out his father passed away. I believe they were playing the Raiders on Monday Night Football. He went bananas. It was awesome. He was emotional. One of my favorite, it wasn't on Father's Day, but Derek Redmond, favorite to win the 400 meter for the United States in Barcelona, pulls his hamstring, 1 lap left. His dad pushes his way down there and, walks his son across to make sure that he finishes the race. Very emotional. But this weekend, it's about your dads, man. And if you're a fan of sport, I know that mothers out there do so many amazing things, but it is Father's Day. But I know a lot of people out there, without your fathers, you may have never fallen in love with sports. I know without my dad, I wouldn't be in the position that I am in talking about sports or have the same passion that I have for sports, because he's the one that taught me to love the game. He's like, man, like all the things that I can think about. I just wanted to absorb his brain, even though I watched him almost cry when Doug Flutie threw that touchdown. It would have been the only time I ever seen my dad cry.
Hey, and my dad raised some sports talkers too, huh?
Yeah, he did.
Good God.
Got 2 of them, by the way. Is your brother
Can't
here?
get a no. Yeah, he's here.
Yo, man, I'm sorry you've been on hold that long, dead gummit. I didn't know your brother was actually on point. He's been here all morning since 6 a.m. I figured he'd be a little tired. What's up, Alex?
What's going on, guys? And it's okay. I was just waiting and hearing the talk about father-son duos, and I was also hearing betting advice. So I was all ears, John. I'm ready to make some money.
Yeah, I told you I have a feeling Farmington Road at 15-1 is going to get it. I think that coming in second is going to be Tap It to Win. 6-1, and then I think the favorite 6-5, Tiz the Law, is going to run in third.
Me and John have been talking, okay, and I have a new saying.
And
right?
Rob Manfred did this to Tiz the Law.
Again, I have a new saying. Tell me if you think it'll catch on. The Rob Manfred guarantee. So if something is absolutely not going to happen, and you're guaranteeing that it's going to happen, that's a Rob Manfred guarantee. Think I could get that to catch on?
Whatever the opposite of
whatever you're saying, the opposite of it.
So who does Rob Manfred have in the Belmont?
Dude, he took Tiz the Law. That's why I said that the favorite.
Okay,
and by the way, he took the overwhelming favorite. So
Tiz not the Law.
I moved them to third just because of Rob Manfred.
Oh, okay. Well, then there we go. We're all on the same page. I think that's probably a smart decision.
I like it. But I really do think Farmington Road's going to run well. It's been running its last 3 races at 1.5 miles, and the Belmont's actually coming up this Saturday. And I will remind people, because they're like, well, when's the Kentucky Derby? September 5th, people. Yes, we are way out of order for the Triple Crown, but September 5th is Kentucky Derby. But this weekend, the Belmont Stakes, get in there and start gambling. Now, I love gambling. I also like partying. It is a Sports 56 happy hour. But there's a lot of stuff that's been going on in sports, and I wanted to ask you especially because you've been so far in it from the minor league side about how embarrassing it is what baseball's doing and how they're now going to get rid of, it seems like, 42 teams. They're shrinking the draft from 40 rounds to 20. All the stuff that they're doing is just basically BS. And now coming out today basically making me feel like baseball's not going to happen again. I'm just about as sick of baseball as I can possibly think of. But I will say, when you have Rookie of the Year on ESPN, it makes me want it back. And then when you constantly have every single thing else that's going on.
Alex, he hates on Rookie of the Year. That's a great movie, isn't it? That's like a childhood. Me and Alex watched that growing up several times.
My co-host is a baseball movie purist, so he's not a big fan of the kids baseball movies or really anything involving kids baseball or kids making it to the.
Hey, I didn't ask about him though.
Little Big League, he's not a fan of that either.
Well, but like Henry Rowan Gardner, man. I mean, like.
Well,
his
think about
name?
the premise.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
the premise is
hilarious.
awful. I get that, but it's like one of those '90s.
Can throw 100 miles an hour.
90s movies where when you're like young, you have it on VHS, and you love it.
I liked it. I haven't seen it in years.
Yeah,
though,
I mean,
so.
I'm just still sad because we shouldn't be watching this tonight. We should be watching the Real Deal Holyfield. But I got to ask you, Alex, because this is why you have watched this from the beginning. You have been around. You and your co-host, you and Todd, have been talking about this for, I'm sure, weeks on end. The National Football League was on the back burner, I guess. The National Football League looked like they were on top of the coronavirus. They're like, we've set up 3 testing across the country. You know, we're going to be able to do this many tests a day. You know, we are all over. They got the COVID-19 helmet coming out that looks like you won't see anybody.
Fog up by play 3.
Yeah, play 3, you can't see nothing. People are going to be walking each other. It looks crazy, but I bring this also up because we have not been talking about the coronavirus nearly as much as we've talked about the other things that are going on in the sports world. But I really wanted to get from you, because after listening to Sean McVay, the way he talked about he feels like this is absolute lunacy. You're telling us we have to social distance. How can you social distance and play football? They say there's going to be a second wave that's going to hit right during football season. And then they also say that it's going to be also mixed in with the common flu, causing hella confusion. And I'm just saying, I know that the money is important, but dude, could you actually, if you're the National Football League, screw this up by starting, and then next thing you know, you get everybody sick, you got a pandemic, everybody and their grandmother's like suing the bleep out of you? Could this thing go south real fast?
Oh, absolutely. And that's what all these leagues are running into. And I legitimately think that all the chaos around Major League Baseball or a lot of it is around that. The owners don't want to start the season and then get to October or November, a second wave comes, and they miss the playoffs, because most of their revenue comes from the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know if or when or what a second wave may look like, because we're still, quite honestly, smack dab in the middle of the first one. And I know that you guys down there are experiencing a little bit of that right now, and hopefully everybody is safe and doing all the things that they're needing to do. But here's the problem right now. The experts, if you listen to the experts, they're telling you they don't know. They don't know what the rest of this wave is going to look like. They don't know if there's going to be a huge spike and like that huge second wave where it comes back with a vengeance in the winter, or if it's just going to be a bunch of peaks and valleys. They just have no idea because there hasn't been a precedent set by another coronavirus that's spread and transmitted like this one. So what the NFL and college football and all of these leagues are trying to do is to plan, but it's very difficult to plan when you have zero idea what's going to happen. And it seems like the virus is just sort of writing all the rules at this point and is going to continue to do so.
How ridiculous is the thought of a football bubble scenario? I know Fauci said it, and I look, I agree you need to take precautions, and I understand that completely. But does that even seem like anything that could possibly be realistic? Like, do we have enough, things at our disposal to make that happen? I just don't see it.
I don't either, but the fact that he's saying that scares me because, he says that you almost have to do it or else you're not going to be able to have a season. And I guess the question is going to be, how in the world do you possibly do that? You really can't, especially with as many guys as are on a team. But I'm very nervous now about what the NFL is going to look like, what college football is going to look like in the fall. That's
college football freaks me the hell out right now.
That's where
I'm like, I don't even. It's terrifying because you look at what Texas had 13 cases,
and that's
8 cases from Kansas State, and they're like, and a lot of ads and stuff like that are talking about wanting to have fans in the stadium.
What Ohio State did, having their players sign that legal document,
even though he said it was educational.
I feel like that should that I would sue the hell out of him or something. That would make me
I am
so
freaked
mad.
out.
Yeah, college football is scary because I have a friend who works in the Dallas area for the ESPN station down there, and about a month ago, it was looking like the governor was sort of full steam ahead. They were opening things back up. There were rumblings that if Major League Baseball got back underway, they would allow fans to go into Globe Life Park or whatever the new stadium is called in Arlington to watch the Rangers. And my friend told me that the athletic directors and the powers that be with the schools in Texas were really, really pushing for full stadiums in the fall. And since then, Texas has gotten hammered. I mean, Texas is sort of on fire right now with the virus, especially the Houston area. The University of Houston had to stop.
Cowboys, Texans.
They had to stop. The University of Texas is having a problem. And now all of a sudden the governor is saying, you know what, we're not going to be able to have more than 50% fans. And it keeps going down and down. And Houston is talking about having to close up again.
Yep.
So we knew it was going to be an experiment. We had said it at the time. There was nothing that we could really do about it in the first place to stop this from happening, and we just had to wait to see how it played out. And as most of us, I think, predicted, it's sort of going off the tracks in a hurry.
And this is the other thing I wanted to ask you. Do you think it, because, and this is where I think my stomach feels very uneasy. There's one thing to ask people who are getting paid millions of dollars to go to work. That is one thing. There's another thing to ask young men and women, and people are saying, oh, well, they're strong, they're healthy, they're this or they're that. Well, we haven't had anybody who's recovered from this, over a year out. We don't know what the long-term ramifications, and we're finding it. What is it? 30% have permanent lung damage. Well, if you're having permanent lung damage, you're an athlete, that kind of messes you up, if you know what I'm saying. We're putting so many young people at risk, and it's like, why would we use our children as guinea pigs?
It's become a weird phenomenon with people talking about this because they say, oh, well, they're 18 to 22. They're going to be fine. Well, okay, they might not die. That's what you're saying. They might not die, But think about what their lungs are dealing with and how long that's going to take to rehab. That's going to take some time to get over. And if you have a bunch of guys catching this during season, it could be just absolutely devastating.
And that's the problem right now. And it's just not. It's about them, of course, because that's what we're discussing. But I know at Iowa State they had 10 student athletes who tested positive. This was about a week ago when this report came out. And the health department in Shelby County, Iowa, was saying that it was causing a community spike in cases. These 10 players were causing a spike in cases, a record number of cases in Shelby County, Iowa, just based on those 10 cases and the widespread ramifications of having them in their county. And that's the problem right now, where one person has it, and how quickly is that going to spread to the rest of the team? How quickly does that get out into the community? And it affects everybody differently.
And just wait till those students get back on campus.
Yeah, well, some of them will have no symptoms. Some of them will have really bad symptoms. Some will have middle of the line symptoms, and that's the trouble with this whole thing. Is it's so unpredictable. You don't know how it's going to affect each person differently.
And just to go right to something that's very quickly, and it's right there around the corner, and a lot of people aren't talking about it since we're talking NFL, also college football, and I'm trying to stick in the football thing. But do people realize how close the Hall of Fame game is? Like, that weekend is a big old ceremony. You induct all the people. You give them the plaque. They get their, they do everything. And then you have this Cowboys Steelers game this year. Well, I want to ask you, on August 8th, do you know what today's date is? It's Juneteenth. Like, we're talking about June, July, and damn it, August 8th will be here in like a blink of an eye. Y'all going to be ready to play football when Zeke's got the coronavirus? You got people not even meeting each other. Like, how are you going to be ready to play football?
That's a great question. There has to be a point where this all gets addressed by the NFL and this all gets addressed by college football to the best of their abilities, knowing that, as we've talked about, that nothing that they do is
Oh, and this is the Centennial class, isn't it? Like, this is a big deal.
It is.
Ohio.
How is that going to happen? I don't know.
The governor of Ohio's already said that he expects it to be played with zero fans.
Yeah, Mike DeWine, the governor of Ohio, has been very, very tough not tough, but he's been very proactive with his measures, and I just don't see a scenario where they're going to let that happen with fans. And how do you have a Hall of Fame enshrinement ceremony with no fans?
Honestly, you don't. I mean,
it's making me sick to my stomach to think about what's going to happen.
Major League Baseball already postponed their Hall of Fame induction to next year.
Yep. Does it look like, honestly, right now, the best chance we have for any sports or any sense of normalcy? Is it a bubble down in Florida in the NBA? Is that realistically the best? Like, if you were a gambling man, like we're going to go gamble on the Belmont tomorrow, are you putting the NFL, college football, Major League Baseball, or the NBA to actually crown a champion?
It's got to be the NBA, right? Because
I think so.
I think it's funny because I hear people every day. It's like, well, the NBA's hit a snag on this detail or that detail. And I'm thinking to myself, well, yeah, they're trying to plan an entire makeshift playoff inside of a single facility with 22 teams. I'm guessing there are some details there where not everybody's going to be in agreement on.
Oh, my gosh.
They're at least to that point. And this is what, going back to Major League Baseball, they're not even to that point yet. They haven't even agreed on whether or not a season's going to come. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that Tony Clark, Rob Manfred, and the owners come to an agreement. Now they have to iron out all these details that the NBA is kind of going through and how they're going to have their season and travel and restrictions and taxi squads and all this stuff. You think they're going to be able to get that done? They haven't even been able to get a deal done to decide how many games are going to be played.
Not to mention,
I don't see how Major League Baseball is going to have a season this year.
And not to mention the labor force is going to be divided on this whole return to play situation anyway. It's just how it's going to be because a lot of these lower paid players are at the point where they're like, screw it.
Straight up, I don't want
like,
to make
screw it. I don't care anymore. Like,
yeah.
just wash it, and we'll come back next year and try and start clean when we can possibly be healthy. But I also have to ask this, Alex: is it calmed down up there in Iowa City, or is it just is it still bad?
So it's a very ugly situation, and I just have a bad gut feeling about kind of where this is all headed. Not necessarily saying that that Kirk Ferentz is going to lose his job or Brian Ferentz is going to lose his job, but Chris Doyle has already lost his job, and an independent investigation is going to go on the program. And some of the former players have organized and are releasing their stories and allegations day by day through a law firm based in Virginia. So that's happening. An independent investigation is happening. And I'm just sort of looking and I'm saying, at the University of Iowa, how is this not going to have long-term ramifications for the program, especially if Kirk Ferentz remains the head coach, and especially if Brian Ferentz remains the offensive coordinator. And once again, I'm not for or against either of those things. I want to see the process play out, but just look at recruiting. Think about the recruits, and especially recruits, black recruits with black recruits' families. You think they're going to be comfortable sending their kids to the University of Iowa with all of these allegations over 15 years, dozens and dozens, over 50 now coming out against the strength coach, the offensive coordinator, to a lesser extent the head coach, and the head coach who was running the whole show remains the head coach. I don't know how that change is effectively made if you're not willing, or not that you're not willing, if you're not able to get more African-American student athletes on campus.
I want to ask both of you this. If you have a kid, where are you more likely to send them, Oklahoma State or Iowa?
Oh, gosh.
Not even a question.
Which one?
I don't want the mullet master, dude, ever. Oklahoma State, forget about it. Sorry. And by the way, he's 2-13 against OU. Mullet master ain't no good. Now, Iowa,
theoretically, they got rid of the bad
That's
apple.
what I'm trying to say.
Theoretically.
I don't know enough, and that's why I almost want to just sit there and listen to you and Alex talk about it, because I honestly, like, Kirk Ferentz was supposed to be the greatest guy in the world, and Chris is the one who's gone, so was he really the problem? Or did this man for 21 years just allow this to go on, and that's just like turning a blind eye? So, Alex, you speak on that one, because I don't think I can, even though I don't like the mullet man.
And this is exactly what I'm saying. Like, I don't think there's ever going to be enough clarity of like, oh, well, Kirk Ferentz did this, Kirk Ferentz did that. But Kirk Ferentz is the head coach. He knew the way that Chris Doyle acted. And Chris Doyle was his right-hand man for 21 years. So it's hard to completely separate Kirk Ferentz from all of this. And Kirk Ferentz, whether or not he's willing to make changes, he says he is. He already has made some certain changes to the program. We'll find out. I think the current players are going to be a great barometer of that, because they're able to speak out now, where in the past they haven't been able to. But I'm just talking about the perception for future recruits. And you don't think that Matt Campbell at Iowa State and Scott Frost in Nebraska or PJ Fleck at Minnesota are going to use this against them on the recruiting trail?
Easiest negative recruiting ever.
Yeah. I know it sounds ridiculous, but we're talking about the future of the program long term. And if we're talking about the future of the Iowa football program long term, we are directly talking about recruiting.
Yep. I still think Iowa will have a lot better. I think Iowa's in a much better position right now than Iowa State. But again, that's from me seeing it from afar. Do you know what I'm saying? The Chuba Hubbard stuff looks so bad. The apology from Gundy looks so stupid. And then the fact that you can literally pull up his quote where he says, this is the most refreshing network ever. They're not far left or far right. They don't even give commentary. They just stick to the news. And then I go to it, and literally, right at the top of the page, Black Lives Matter is a farce. There's like a justice chat line that I will cry if you ever go to it. And then the stories. And then I actually Googled one of the ladies.
How about the Antifa?
And she works for the Sputnik Russian news network. I'm like going, what are you talking about? And then the other thing, to get that shirt, he actually had to buy a prescription because you can't just go into most places and turn on your TV to get whatever it's called. America, what? News, something.
One American News.
One American News. Always forget it. But anyway, I think it's insanity, and I could talk with you all day, Alex. It is so much fun. I think we're in a different time. But the last thing I want to ask you, and I want you to think about this real quick and then answer.
Okay.
More likely to see this realistically happen, Mike Tyson fight or Colin Kaepernick play in the NFL?
Wow. I'd heard the stuff about Mike Tyson returning to the ring. Is that
he's got the power of Mao, yo. Dude, I don't know, man. Mike Tyson said he has the power of Mao or something like that.
He said the gods of war have reignited his passion. I was like, that is just the most badass quote ever.
Yeah, it really is.
That is pretty badass. But yeah, I'll go. I think both have a legitimate shot at happening. I'll say Mike Tyson returning to boxing because who knows if we're going to see an NFL season.
And that's a good point. And the other thing is, if he doesn't play this year, that'll be 4 years. Next year would be 5. And let's not forget, they say he has a work of a TV show in the deal. He's also working with Nike. He's made a lot of money, and you know he wants to do other social justice causes. So I'm not as sold as I was seeing Mike Tyson saying the most dope quote I've ever seen. And when he flexed his muscles for however old he is, I wouldn't get in the ring with him, even with Gabe.
No.
Hey, don't put that evil on me. I would never come close to a ring with Mike Tyson in it.
I'll hide behind you, and I still won't get.
You better give me like 2 sets of protective headgear to put around my head. I am not taking chances.
Oh, Alex, I could rap with you all day. Our time has come and gone. Everybody, do me a big favor. Make sure you check out, Gabe's wonderful brother, Mr. Alex Kuhn. You and Todd. I actually don't know exactly what times y'all are wrapping up there. 4 to 6, I believe.
4 to 6 is correct.
Damn.
Hopping on the air in about an hour and a half.
Oh, man. Well, go sit back, relax, enjoy. I like to, down here, I like to get full and fat and eat a few tacos. You got any ritual?
That sounds like as good a ritual as any.
Yep. That or a left-handed cigarette.
Tacos do not have to be on
Tuesday. Alex, hey,
right,
take
Alex.
care of yourself. We love you. We'll talk to you next Friday. Be safe up there, my brother.
You too. See you guys.
That's my friend Alex Coons, Gabe's brother. We are so late for a break, but we're having fun on this beautiful Friday right here on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hertz. Right here on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Hey, frequent heartburn may keep you from running your A game, but it doesn't have to anymore. Join the Prilosec OTC 2-week challenge. Just go to prilosecotc.com. You'll get $3 off to get you started, plus 14 days of tips, tricks, and reminders. Just 2 weeks, 0 heartburn. Go to prilosecotc.com and sign up today. 0 heartburn is possible with Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
Eat well and stay healthy with Sweetgrass Next Door's to-go and delivery service. From shrimp and grits to pork chops to chocolate chip cookies and more, feed your need. Located in the heart of Cooper Young Midtown, Sweetgrass Next Door makes for an easy to-go, pickup, and delivers to all of Midtown, most of downtown, and even East Memphis locations. For more information, visit online at sweetgrassmemphis.com or call 901-278-0278 to place your order today.
Hi, I'm Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roofing. Do you have any idea why I never speak the way I am right now? It's because if you're honest, sincere, and knowledgeable, you do not need fast-talking, high-energy, gimmick-promising advertising to get a customer's attention. Speaking of that, how do you think companies can offer huge rebates and giveaways when you use their services or buy their products? By overcharging you in the first place, that's how. 5 Roofing doesn't operate that way. It's misleading and dishonest. When I provide a customer with the best products and the best service possible and do it at a fair price, why would I need gimmicks to sell it? Best products, best warranties, and best service possible. That's all we offer. Well, that and financing. 5 Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. 5 Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5 Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
America's ready to get back to work, but to win in the new economy, you need NetSuite by Oracle, the world's #1 cloud business system. NetSuite surveyed hundreds of business leaders and assembled a playbook of top strategies. As America reopens for business, receive your free guide, 7 actions businesses need to take now. And schedule your free product tour, too, at netsuite.com/herd, netsuite.com/HERD.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Thick and thin, I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher man.
Yo, yo, yo. Y'all know I'm your pusher man, but I got to ask you this right off the top. We're about to get into one of my favorite segments, and that's Hardwood, because dadgummit, it does feel so good. But I've hit people up 67129, and I want to know at the text line, realistically, more likely, or what do you think has the better chance? If you're a gambling man, where are you going to put your money? It's even money, let's say. Mike Tyson, we see fight, or Colin Kaepernick, we see playing for the Shield. Truthfully, what do y'all think?
We already have some texts at 67129, some texts that I didn't want to read at first, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. One about COVID-19. I don't think COVID-19 is going away. I think that's pretty clear. We're just going to have to live with this. That's clear as well. You can wear a mask all the time and just stop living or man up and take chances. Pick one, because I've had it with this. Well, here's the thing.
Like, why don't you shut your damn mouth?
If someone tells you to wear a mask, wear a mask.
Yeah.
If they don't, and they
way,
don't
you a
require it,
doctor?
you don't have to. I said I didn't really want to answer these texts, but I'm going to.
Can I just answer it? Because I don't care. I don't really give a damn what he thinks about me at all, because I don't care anymore. I really don't. I've gotten to that point where I am so sick and tired of it. People hit you up, slap you upside the head. No matter what you do, I can't appease anybody except for myself, and I'm always going to be true to me. COVID-19 isn't going away. But asking like us to man up, where the hell you think we are? We're at work. Everybody out there who has to go to a job is manning up. I asked a question, sir or madam. If you had a child, do you think it's fair for a country to put a bunch of children, not only do they not get paid, but they literally go in debt for almost their whole damn life? I mean, my student debt is ridiculous. It's a mortgage. That is stupid. And you're going to tell me to go, hey, go get in debt, be a guinea pig. And I ask you, sir, would you send your son or your daughter to go out and be the nation's guinea pig when we've already found 13 players at Texas, 8 at Kansas State? By the way, the first day of testing in Philadelphia, 8 players from the Phillies have come down with it. They basically think it could be a whole damn nightmare lockdown because They were all chilling with the whole team before they tested them.
See, this is why I didn't even want to bring it up, because it's just like it's you have too many points to just.
I'm not making up Jack, man. I'm
it's
just
a
trying
mask.
to tell.
If you're told to wear a mask, wear the mask. If you don't have to, don't wear it. If you don't want to, it's whatever. You take the risk. You take the risk. If someone else doesn't want to take the risk, you shouldn't force that risk upon them. Very simple. And then also,
by the way, just one other thing. I've had it with this S. Well, then do me a favor, Mr. Genius. Go make up the damn vaccine, and so we don't have to worry about it anymore, you moron.
And then also, someone says nothing that has happened will hurt these schools in regards to Iowa and Oklahoma State. Well, judging by the fact that Iowa's strength coach of 21 years just left, I'd say that hurt them. Also, if you don't think that negative recruiting happens on the recruiting trail, I have news for you. It happens.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
So, like, it's going to hurt them whether they like it or not. And you want me to mark your words? If you want me to mark your words, I have to know a name.
Yeah, you got to let me know who it is. Mark my words.
I will mark your words if I have words to mark, but those are bad words to mark. I'm just going to be completely honest with you.
I can't.
That's all we got.
I'm going to laugh so hard to think that there's a person that thinks actually that Oklahoma State has not heard itself.
There's nothing negative that can come out of this at all. Nothing negative about this.
Like, could you imagine going in the like a person's house and sitting down with them, and then the dad or the brother asks you that question? You have to sit there and look with them in straight face and say, I didn't know because I'm that stupid. Dude, you make $5 million a year to know everything. What are you talking about?
Nothing negative is going to happen to those guys. That's one of the funniest jokes I've heard today. That's a Rob Manfred guarantee right there. That's a Rob Manfred guarantee.
Well, guess what? I got the real deal Holyfield guarantee, and that's 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I've said it for here. I've said it since I've been on the air. If you want to sell your house, all you have to do is call 901-406-1101. Bing, bang, boom. I literally just sold your house. Thank Bill later. Thank me later. But call 901-406-1101. You'll have your money in 5 days, guaranteed to close any house, any area. It is simple as that. Let's go to Hardinwood.
This is Access Hardinwood.
And also to the mask person, I think everyone can agree that this sucks. Everyone hates it. Like,
but don't say I'm sick of this and man up.
Everyone's sick of it. Okay, you have different ways of being sick of it, and you have to deal with them. However you want to handle it, you handle it.
Mr. Hey, Billy, never mind. I don't even want to get into it.
But anyway, what you got, man?
I was going to say, there's so many things that are going on. But the one thing that I did want to bring up, because it does have to do with that, with Philadelphia, because it looks like that's the news all over Twitter. TMZ is now hitting it. They said 8 people have tested positive. They're quarantining a lot of people is what I'm saying. Basically, here's what they've said. The MLB season was already on thin ice. Given the financial negotiations between the owners and the players, it was already looking dire. Now it says it has become even more complicated with COVID-19. This outbreak, by the way, I didn't make up the outbreak. This outbreak complicates things even more to the point where it might just be the last straw in the end of negotiations because it will be too complicated to pull off. But COVID-19, it's fake. Just because, did you know, by the way, did you watch March Madness? Did you fill out your bracket? Because, man, that March Madness was great, right? Wasn't it, man? Did you have fun at March Madness?
Oh, gosh,
Did you watch the College Baseball World Series? Did you remember
opening
real,
day?
Man. Do you remember
You're making
day?
me sad. You're making me sad saying all these things.
My name is Joe Biden. But I don't get that one either. So you're actually going to admit you're one of the 2 dumbest people on planet Earth? Because I think number 1 and 2 are both running for president.
All right. But today, guess what happened today? You remember when Enes Kanter's dad went into jail for in Turkey for what Enes Kanter said about the government?
Yep.
He has been released today, man.
Yeah.
After 7 years. And mind you, the only reason he was thrown into Turkish jail is because of Enes Kanter.
I was getting ready to say,
because Enes Kanter spoke up against the government.
You just stole my Father's Day love story.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Actually, you know what? It's a great time to talk about it right now because I am already running out of time, and you didn't steal anything. But I really did want to say that when I saw that earlier, like about 10 o'clock this morning, that's kind of how I came up with this Father's Day. Let's talk about some players because there is a man out there who went to jail for 7 years because his son spoke out. Now, I don't know how that father feels. I don't know what their relationship is like, but I can tell you, if they get to see each other this Father's Day after 7 years of being separated, I don't know. But all I know, Enes Kanter came out and said, wow, I could cry. He said, I'm crying. I could cry. Today I found out that 7 years after arresting my dad, taking him through a kangaroo court and accusing him of being a criminal just because he's my dad. My dad has been released. They no longer could keep him from his freedom because of the spotlight that we all put on this case. So he literally comes out and thanks everybody, and he says this proves that the voice of the people will always push dictators to do the right thing in the end. Don't be scared to stand up for what is right. Always, and I mean always, stand up for freedom, stand up for democracy, and stand up for human rights. And I could not have said that any better than Enes Kanter, a man who has been 7 years since he saw his dad because they arrested him for speaking out against their dictatorship. But Enes Kanter, he fought back. A lot of people have now taken up the case, and now guess what? His dad's been released. That is something I just have to say. That's the best Father's Day gift you could possibly get, to know that your dad is out of jail, but also know that your dad's out of jail for something that you did. Do you think this is something that Enes Kanter, do you think Enes Kanter's dad is in any way upset with his son, proud of his son? How do you think this is going to be, how do you think this is going to come about? What would you do? If you were in jail 7 years for your son speaking out, would you be proud? Would you be broken? What do you think? Because I really don't know.
I would,
it's your son. You love
here's
him.
the thing. It's I don't know. I don't know, man. He got put in jail for 7 years over something that his son said.
Because
I gotta imagine that his dad does agree. I know in my position, you have to be proud of Enes Kanter for standing up for what he believes in.
Well,
regardless
I think that
of
the
what
apple didn't fall from the tree is what I was basically going to say. I think
you have to make sacrifices at times for the betterment of all people, right? Mm-hmm. And Enes Kanter decided to do that, whether the repercussions of that were bad or not. It seemed to have gotten some amount of change, and the fact that they did have to release him because freedom is now actually looked at in that country. So I think, bravo, seriously, good job by Enes Kanter. Speaking up for what he believes in, even though there was sacrifices he had to make along the way.
Oh, and just Mr. COVID-19 person, just so you know, did you hear about the Tampa Bay Bucks news? Did you hear about that? Because this is just popping left and right. Tampa Bay Bucks got 2 coaches who tested positive for COVID-19. They're waiting on results on 4 other tests, 2 players and 2 other coaches. So, again, we've already had Zeke Elliott is the only one that I know, real big name. I know the Texans. I know the Cowboys. I know we have Arizona players that have come up with it. We also know about the University of Texas, Kansas State. We have heard about all kinds of people. And again, Philadelphia Phillies, baseball. That could be the straw that broke the baseball back. I think right now the best chance to actually crown a champion, and maybe the only chance, is going to be basketball. But if basketball does actually crown a champion, does that mean that everybody else is going to try to force their way in? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're forced to make themselves have a champion that year, and I hope they don't. I hope they don't force it.
I think it's going to be.
I think they need to take, again, like basketball, they need to take precautions, figure out what they need to do, and find a plan. I'm not saying a plan is out of the question, but they need to find one that actually makes sense for football, because football is one of. I don't think we've stressed it enough. It's tough to think about what they're going to have to do to keep it safe and keep it from being a liability issue, especially at the college football level. Seriously, we have not made a big enough deal about this, and I think we need to start opening the conversation about it, because I know that a lot of the guys making decisions at that higher level are having a lot of trouble.
I am with you. I agree unequivocally, and I will tell you another thing. I am a little bit late. I got one more segment before I hand this bad boy off. But I did want to say, as much as we talked about, my friend, not my friend, but Derek Redmond and his dad James Redmond, who, you saw in the Barcelona Olympics when you saw the kid hit a home run with his dad. There's a lot of great sports moments, and this morning the reason I thought about it is because I can't think of a better Father's Day gift or just anybody who could be happier than Enes Kanter and his family are right now, because again, he spoke out against a dictator. He spoke out against the Turkish regime. And because he spoke out for freedom, they arrested his dad and put him in a kangaroo court, and he couldn't see him. And it's been 7 years, but his dad has been released. And again, his words, I couldn't say any of them better, but I will just say the very end of it. Always, always, always stand up for freedom, stand up for democracy, stand up for human rights. We'll be right back. Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Visit Frontier Western Store this Father's Day for the perfect gifts for Dad. From now until Father's Day, you'll save big on the classic Carhartt K87 short sleeve tee. Get 2 for $25. Frontier carries every color they make, including this year's brand new colors. All sizes are in stock and on sale, small to 4X. All Carhartt Force t-shirts are 25% off too. This hard-working cotton blend wicks away sweat, resists stains, and has a relaxed fit, giving Dad plenty of room to move. Save big on Force at 25% off. Also, all men's pants and jeans, $5 off. Wrangler, Carhartt, and Ariat. Every pair of khakis, jeans, dungarees, and even FR workwear, $5 off. All Carhartt shorts are 25% off too. While you're there, grab Dad some boots. You know he'd love a new pair. Frontier has thousands of boots in stock at amazing everyday low prices. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Hi, I'm Greg Gaston for Window Genie. Window Genie is a trusted name in window cleaning, but they do so much more. They can take care of your home or business. They clean interior and exterior windows with a streak-free guarantee. They clean gutters, do pressure washing and house washing. They can also clean and seal concrete, brick, and natural stone. Locally owned and operated, insured and bonded. Get your free estimate today and ask for the Sports 56 discount. Call 901-424-4100 and leave the dirty work to Window Genie.
Hey everybody, are we ready for some hot fun this summertime? Cause I'm out here in Olive Branch looking at all these new All-Star Chevy trucks. You've got more new Silverados out here than you'll find anywhere, and for a lot less. Some still have 0 interest for 84 months with GM financing or thousands in cash back for summer. If it's a new Chevy you want, Olive Branch is where you want to be. Come drive one of the new Blazers or Suburbans, or just drive both. You can fall in love with more than one. Finance with GM and you could be payment free all summer. And everybody at All-Star Chevy is excited about their pre-owned Chevy collection. It's huge. I'm looking at Tahoes, Malibus, Impalas, Suburbans. They have everything the new ones have, warranties and all, just thousands less. Remember, it's not the Pike, not South Haven, not Mount Moriah or Collierville. It's gotta be Olive Branch, people. And everyone at All-Star Chevy has one job: to make sure you get the best deal, have more fun, and in record time. So find new roads to Kraft Goodman Road in Olive Branch or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Casper's the sleep company with outrageously comfortable products at not-so-outrageous prices. And now you can help Dad upgrade to the comfort of Casper with the Father's Day sale. Save 10% on any mattress order or get $25 off. All you have to do is spend $100 or more on gifts for Dad. This Casper Father's Day sale is going on through June 23rd. The offer excludes bundles, the Element mattress and sale items. Limit one offer per customer and order. See Casper.com/terms.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over him!
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Welcome back into my favorite place in the whole world, and that's Sports 56, baby. It's Sports 56 Happy Hour. You got Gabe Kuhn at G_Kuhn71. You got me at Johnny_Radio, all on Twitter. I'm chilling in the Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. It's getting warm outside. COVID is actually a bother. A lot of the pools that are public aren't open yet, but guess what? If you go to 2120 Whitten Road just north of I-40, they got a complete pool package starting at $15.99. You ain't got to worry about it. You got your own pool in your backyard. Let's do this. Plus, if you check me out on Twitter and Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, or Instagram, you'll see how beautiful the studios, because I'm chilling in the Family Leisure Studios, and that is where family and fun come together. Now, it is the last segment of the week for me. And now I'm going to pass this torch over to pass it over to pass it to the left to Wolo and Stats. Sports Time's going to drive you home from 3 to 6. There's a little bit of golf that's going on. They got, basically Webb Simpson is just tearing it up 12 under. The guy Bryson DeChambeau, which I still don't understand because I really read this weekend. They literally had a panel, and they're like, do we have to change the golf ball because of him? If Bryson DeChambeau all of a sudden starts winning every tournament and starts passing Tiger Woods and becomes the greatest thing in the world, then maybe y'all actually have to do something. But I still need to see Bryson DeChambeau win a whole bunch of tournaments before I have to listen to a panel. And I know we don't have sports right now. They're showing The Rookie on ESPN tonight. I know we're starved for actual sports. But to say that Bryson DeChambeau has physically made himself better than every other golfer ever because he's using weights and physics and all this stuff. I'm like, well, dude, every other player could use it too. Don't beat up on Bryson DeChambeau. And by the way, before we anoint him the greatest thing and before we change the golf ball for him, can he at least become number one in the world? At least? I mean, is that too much to ask for? I just think it's crazy how much they've said about that. But I will tell you another thing that's crazy. I truly believe Corona in sports, it is getting scarier. Sean McVay, the head coach for the Rams, has spoke out about it. We have now parents from the Ohio State teams who are speaking out about they've hired an attorney, and a lot of them want to know, is this literally a legal document? And they're thinking about pulling their kids out of school. That is not a good thing in the NCAA or with Ohio State. You know what's going on with Texas and Iowa. You heard Kansas State, and your brother mentioned somebody else that had it. Phillies came down with 8 more cases today. So, again, right now I feel like when it comes to Corona and sports, all of our eggs are right now in one basket. MLB, I'm putting a fork in them. I don't believe it until I see it. I am saying NBA is the only one that I truly believe in. And this is why I think we're going to say Mike Tyson. I asked the question, do you expect to see Cap play in the NFL or Mike Tyson in the ring again? Mike wants to play again, and I believe Mike can actually still fight. Cap might want to play, but I don't know if they're going to have a season. And 5 years away from football, I'm sorry, that's just too damn long. So I think it's going to be Mike. But also, never wait too long for one thing. If you got a problem with your roof, you could have a serious problem. Water damage is the worst damage I can think of other than fire. But the worst, at least if it's fire, you just know you got to rebuild the whole bad boy. When it's water damage, oh my goodness, it is such a pain. That's why you want to make sure you take care of your roof. Brian Elder and Chris Price have hooked up. This is the best roofing place in the world. Insurance companies, they know them, and they know that the emergency, the most essential part of your house is your roof. The insurance company cares about your house. They don't want water damage, so give them a call, 901-867-0303. That's 901-867-0303 for Brian Elder Roofing Solutions. Everybody, do me a big favor. Be like Enos Cantor. Enjoy Father's Day. Go and win the Belmont tomorrow because I gave you the winners. And make sure you don't touch the dial because Wolo and Stats are coming up next. For Gabe Kuhn, I'm John Harden. Happy Father's Day to everybody. Get out there and make this world a better place. See you on the flip side. Peace!
Children saying, take the day off, hit the park and just hang. Barbecue roll